The McDonald's criticism pissed me off. Like people say, oh, Trump's not serious about health. It's like, no, Trump's not saying that to go to McDonald's. The question is, why do McDonald's French fries have 17 ingredients right now? They used to have 3, and in Europe they have 3. It's salt, oil, and potatoes.
Right.
So what are the incentives that have led McDonald's French fries to have 17 ingredients? And it's top down and bottoms up. And, I want to be clear, and if you listen to RFK and Trump, they're not talking about any regulation. They're just talking about getting to the truth. I mean, if it is true that glyphosate, which is now sprayed on almost everything we eat and not sprayed in any other country, which requires a hazmat suit to spray it and kills every organism in sight, and is now just like on everything our kids eating, and our microbiomes are being destroyed, leading to horrible situations. If they can definitively prove, like every other country has, that's a problematic substance, then the political calculus changes a little bit.
It's a crazy world, crazy world. Somebody's gotta have to save you. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. Somebody's gotta have to save you.
So if you look at it right in 1990, calorie consumption in the United States started skyrocketing, and percentage of ultra-processed food consumption started skyrocketing. So I'm a conservative, like we're free market guys. But the cigarette industry co-opting the USDA to the point of 19 out of 20 USDA Nutrition Guideline Committee members are paid for by food companies. Co-opting the USDA to where they self-police any chemical in our food. Co-opt the FTC to allow the top advertiser Nickelodeon to be food companies. You can't look on YouTube with kids stuff without seeing food companies. Really co-opting every institution of trust, having this fundamentally addictive substance, which is these frankenfoods with artificial colors in there, that are safe in the United States but banned in every other country. They're literally crude oil. That's what these colorings are. But they do research that the neon colors make kids want to buy them. So you just had rank corporate capture by cigarette companies of the USDA in the 1990s. That's led to a metabolic health crisis where today a child's diet is 70% ultra-processed food. So I think what Trump and RFK are unpacking, and what I'm certainly arguing, is like, I think we get in this left-right box too often. Like there's a fundamental poisoning of American children with 10,000 chemicals we don't allow in any other country through a corporate co-opted system, and a metabolic health crisis among kids to where 33% of young adults have prediabetes, and where we really have a competitiveness issue where 77% of military-age men aren't eligible to join the military.
Do you think in a weird way that it was an inevitability that this would have happened, in that capitalism, which is the best of all systems, even for whatever its flaws may be, allows for some of these, maybe you disagree with that.
No.
But allows for these companies to come in, and then the government that doesn't really operate the way it's supposed to ends up not regulating the things that it's supposed to, or can't regulate the things that it's supposed to, or the people are bought off, that basically that no system could have done it better. And now we're just getting out of the learning process of that, something like that.
I think that's right. I think one of the dynamics in our culture today is that we are living in a good, optimistic society, and we've got Elon, sending rockets up, and these robots that he's making are just incredible. And I don't think the
climate people hate the guy trying to get us on other planets.
Yeah,
it's really something.
And there's a real story of optimism, and I don't think we'd want to trade a lot of our modern conveniences for going back 100 years. Nobody's suggesting that. So I think in some respects, as I'm sure we agree, we're living in an amazing, one of the best times.
Yeah.
But I think we've lost our way in the midst of this unprecedented progress. And we have, I think, more abilities to destroy ourselves today as well. And I think that's where this anxiety is coming. It's like we are living in a good time, but we're also, I think, facing more existential threats. So capitalism is great, but like the military industrial complex fundamentally is built for more conflict and wars. Like the healthcare system in this country, every single lever makes money when Americans are sicker for longer periods of time, and loses money when they're thriving and healthy. And that's what it's producing. You can go down the list. The media fundamentally is paid for by the pharmaceutical industry, which is an industry that profits from Americans being sick, which is why during COVID, there wasn't one mention of our compromised immune system. It was all about a pharmaceutical solution. So if you just trace the economic incentives that have been created, I don't think those are capitalist incentives. I think it's corporate cronyism and corruption. Maybe it's an inevitable byproduct of fast economic growth. But again, I don't like getting in this box of is this left, right, capitalist, not. It's just like we have a health collapse that we're very close to, I think, in this country. I mean, with healthcare rates growing at 2 times the amount of GDP, if we don't reverse this, it's going to be 40% of GDP in like 10 years, right? It's 10 to 12 years with the rate it's growing. I mean, we're going to bankrupt the country. So, we've got to have a hard look. And I think it's the question in this election is an incremental change, and frankly, a question among people that are around President Trump. I think President Trump is saying we need bold change. We need real systemic, transformational change. And then I think the people that are profiting from the current industries are saying we need incremental change. And I think that's a big choice the American people are making. Right.
I like how you frame that because I agree. It's not the fault of capitalism. It might just be the byproduct of freedom. But now here we are still as free people, now with more information, and maybe we can alter some of that. And I mentioned to you right before we started, I mean, my team even in here, I mean, we talk about this stuff constantly. And a lot of us have changed our diets and attitudes and gotten off seed oils and all of this stuff. So you still have a chance as a free person. That's why I thought what Trump did with McDonald's was so great, because then an hour later, you've got Bobby sending out a tweet about beef tallow. And it's like, it will not surprise me if in 1 year from now, maybe that's a little bullish, but if Trump is president, that McDonald's will switch from, what are they using, canola oil? Or I don't know what it is, but something pretty terrible for their fries, back to beef tallow, which is in essence what they did, I think, before 1990.
The McDonald's criticism pissed me off. Like people say, oh, Trump's not serious about health. It's like, no, Trump's not saying that to go to McDonald's. The question is, why do McDonald's French fries have 17 ingredients right now? They used to have 3, and in Europe they have 3. It's salt, oil, and potatoes.
Right.
So what are the incentives that have led McDonald's French fries to have 17 ingredients? And it's top down and bottoms up. And I want to be clear, and if you listen to RFK and Trump, they're not talking about any regulation. They're just talking about getting to the truth. I mean, if it is true that glyphosate, which is now sprayed on almost everything we eat and not sprayed in any other country, which requires a hazmat suit to spray it and kills every organism in sight, and is now just like on everything our kids eating, and our microbiomes are being destroyed, leading to horrible situations. If they can definitively prove, like every other country has, that's a problematic substance, then the political calculus changed a little bit. But I did think we have a bottoms up situation. Clearly there's like a questioning of the American people of seed oils. Really not a big thing in other countries. The top source of American calories right now, was used as engine lubricant by John D. Rockefeller. It's a highly processed, way to make these oils. It's not, anything our body's evolutionarily made to eat. Is this the right thing we should be shoving down our throats? It's like, so I think what you're hitting on is this optimistic message. It's just like, I don't think anyone wants this. I think the brilliance of the American system and our capitalist system is that we are able to savage our current industries. It's actually happened throughout the past 150 years in really positive ways. You look at like Teddy Roosevelt, there's been like really dramatic pushbacks against the system. Teddy Roosevelt, that was the richest period in American history, relatively versus other countries. A lot of things were going well there, but there was also a lot of reforms. So some of them were good, some of them not good. But like, that's the history of America. I think that's where the independent media free speech comes in, quite frankly. Like, we'll get to the right answer if we're able to kind of hash this out. But for some reason, the media and actually regulatory and government agencies themselves are violently telling Americans they can't ask questions about why they're getting so sick.
For more insightful discussions on how to live the good life, check out our lifestyle playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist, all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.